Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Las Vegas Raiders. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. First carry for James Conner, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Murray going to throw. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
A draft day trade sent Hollywood Brown much closer to Hollywood when Baltimore shipped him to Arizona for a first-round pick. He's joining the Cardinals at a great time, too, coming off of a breakout season that saw him cross 1,000 yards for the first time on a career-best 91 receptions. He's going to make an already exciting offense that much more dynamic.
Murray getting this out wide to Hopkins. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Murray giving to Conner on the option. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. Well, this defense for the Raiders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Throwing now is Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Now Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Here's second and a yard. To throw, it's Carr. And that's complete to Adams. Carr finding his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first. The Raiders at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener, and now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Carr going to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Give them 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Carr. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. J.J. Watt with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray, and complete to Zach Ertz. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and 3rd and 1 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
Murray a give. This is Connor. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Chandler Jones in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. To throw is Murray. Zach Ertz has it complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. We're scoreless after 1. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Officially, no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
2nd and 10. Now Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And the Cardinals, they trot out their dime package for third down. Here's Carr to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Play fake. Murray. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Cardinals on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Murray. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Murray now on first down. And this will be swung out here for counter. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Here's Murray. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr. And it's a fumble. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do. But let's face it, you know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball knocked free when you're extended like that. So if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you secure the football, which he didn't.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray. To Connor on the check down. Powers through him. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll run on 1st down with Evans. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Murray now to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Linval Joseph breaking free and dropping him. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On for the field goal try, Jonathan Garibay. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Garibay's kick is good, and the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. But Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick 6.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Damiere Byrd to return from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 36 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Carr now on 1st down. Throw caught here by Byrd. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Carr. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Cards are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with a 10-0 lead, you figure they won't try to do anything foolish here. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This will be caught once again by Brown. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Carr now on first down. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
2nd and 6. Counter play with Jacobs. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Carr on the bootleg. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
Carr going to go on fourth down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Oh, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Back to the running game with Jacobs. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. To throw, it's Carr. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And the Cardinals are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Connor up the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now Murray off play action. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Couple of Oklahoma teammates there. Murray to Brown for a Cardinal first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Marquise Brown, his first touchdown of the new season. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And that makes our score 17-0. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Bird to return from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Carr. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And taken right at the 35. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says that the slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch? Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing now is Murray. He'll dump this one off to Connor, and he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On second down, Connor looking for space, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Shotgun now for Murray. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Garabay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So little by little, the better of these two sides starting to become more and more apparent.
3 points is not a knockout blow in the third quarter, but when the other guys haven't shown they can do anything, they don't have any points, this is looking pretty good. Maybe not a knockout blow, but a good stiff jab, that's for sure.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing now is Carr. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
So now Carr and the Raiders dealt a 3rd and long after that sack. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he is going to have a Raiders 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Here's Carr to throw. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in by Adams. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Into the red zone, it's Carr. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And the Cards force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And that is incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Murray. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Murray. Over the middle, it's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Murray going to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Here's Bird to return. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. It's been a tough go for them. Still without any points here in the fourth quarter and a big deficit, Charles. But he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Carr now on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the 44, Carr. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A fourth quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. An option handoff given to Connor. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll run here with Connor, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Second and goal from the 6 this time. On the give, this is their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And this is where the mental part of the game comes into play. Defense is out of timeouts. Just hold on to the football. No sense really trying to score. They should be able to run this one out.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Murray. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
I almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Cardinals, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.